Good morning, Unity Halton Peel. Happy New Year, 2025. And I put that in just in case you're watching this at some very future date. Um, Discovering that I've got almost 5 years worth of these videos now. It's kind of crazy. So welcome to our Sunday gathering. I'm Wendy Karr, licensed Unity teacher, and a lot of other titles behind my name, but that's the main one for today. So we're going to gather, and I was late in getting the artwork out. So today we're going to talk about building a foundation for 2025. But first, let's just take a moment. And those of you who have joined us before when I've been the guest, um, know that I'm really keen on just kind of taking a breath, let the stuff that's been this week. I, for one, have had a very busy week, and I'm ready to calm down for about an hour with you, and let whatever we got to do later just wait for us. It's waiting. It'll be there. Let's just take a deep breath and take into our hearts and minds this thought for the week. The infinite mind of God fills my awareness with all the right ideas for all the people who come and will come to Unity Halton Peel. We gratefully follow the guidance. It is so, and so it is. And this year we are already making some changes, and there'll be more about that in the announcements later on. But we've got a vision, and we're saying, okay, there is no time or space really. It's all just this one moment that we're living in. But that doesn't mean that we can't prepare for the future, that we can't take steps to make things easier for ourselves, to make our path clear, to make our path absolutely perfect for who we have come here to be and what we are here to do. So our mission at Unity Halton Peel is to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And by that we include the whole world, knowing that our thoughts, our prayers, our intentions, our love, our understanding of the world enters into the broader context, and how we respond, how we engage is so important. So our thought for the month of January in our calendar, and I love this picture of World Headquarters in the snow. That's one thing I haven't seen. I've never been down there when it snowed. So, and our thought for the month is, in quiet times of prayer, I am filled with a sense of tranquility. Our first song, one of my favorites, and I needed to hear it, so I'm gonna invite you to uh, join along, and I hope you enjoy this one.
I am here, I am whole as I am. I am saved, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free, and I'm as perfect as can be. Darkness like a serenade. Nothing can make peace like a song. We've got a ways to go, but then we're closer than we've ever been. So let's walk together on and on. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am saved, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free, Then we'll take a photograph of everybody as they laugh. Put it in the book entitled Us. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am saved, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. Time as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. May seem just like a song, may seem just like a thought, but it soon will take hold, become a truth that's taught for generations, generations, generations. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. Time as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. As I am. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm so grateful. Time as perfect as can be. There is nothing wrong with me. I am here, I am whole as I am. Oh, just as I am. I am here, I am whole as I am.
Thank you, Summer. And now I'll call on Margaret Morton to read our daily word.
Thank you, Wendy. God's strength is my strength. If I identify solely with my human nature, I may feel daunted to be my state, to be my cares and duties, and by the state of the world itself. When I feel small or ill-equipped to face troubling situations or uncertain circumstances, I remind myself I'm never without the power of the divine strength within me. The awesome strength of God is inexhaustible and without limitation. Anything I may be called to face is no match for the divine strength. As I grow in spiritual understanding, I realize I need not pray for God's help. Instead, I can claim the strength of God as an aspect of my divine identity. I affirm divine strength is mine. I am strong in spirit. As these words grow in my consciousness, I feel better able to keep life's struggles in perspective and remember I am strong in God. God is the strength. God the Lord is my strength. Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 19.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. So with that consciousness of our daily word, let us move into a time of prayer. It is our custom to monthly pray for the ministries across Canada and at World Headquarters. And this month we hold in light and love Unity Vancouver Island, which is made up of the former congregations of Nanaimo, Comox Valley, and Victoria. And they grouped together to become one congregation. And the Unity Canada Board of Directors. And so let's just take a moment, blessing and appreciating the service that each of these groups makes to our world in bringing the awareness of light and love and peace and harmony, prosperity and wholeness, shining a light into places that feel dark, knowing that we are one and that this oneness cannot be defeated. No matter how things may look at night, the dawn will arise and the light will shine. And our January affirmations from headquarters. And a shout out to Reverend Mark Fuss. I stole this picture from his website because I just thought it was amazing. For inner peace, I am peace, serene in this moment. Let's just take a moment to bring those words into our minds and hearts. And know with and for all, I am peace, serene in this moment. For faith, our innate ability for the month of January. I am faith-filled and faithful. I am faith-filled and faithful. For wholeness, realizing spiritual wholeness, I heal. Realizing spiritual wholeness, I heal. And in Unity, healing is not limited to physical or medical. We include spiritual healing, mental healing, emotional healing, psychological healing, anything that is a call for healing, we affirm can be healed. For prosperity, I thrive as I open my heart. I thrive as I open my heart. For world harmony, I shine the light of love in the world. I shine the light of love in the world. And so it is. And our next song, it's a newer one. This came out in 2023, right after World Day of Prayer. And Karen Drucker, who is a favorite singer-songwriter of ours, composed this based on the affirmation from World Day of Prayer that year.
I open. I open. I open. I open my heart to healing in this moment. I open my heart to love. I open my heart to healing in this moment. When I open my heart, I am healed. I open my heart to healing in this moment. I open my heart to love. I open my heart to healing in I am healed. I open my heart to healing in this moment. I open my heart to love. I open my heart to healing in this moment. When I open my heart, I am healed. I open my heart to all the possibilities. I open my heart, and I know when I surrender and trust and breathe in gratitude, I am healed. I open my heart to healing in this moment. I open my heart to love. I open my heart, healing in this moment. When I open my heart, I am healed. I open my heart to healing in this moment. I open my heart to love. I open my heart to healing in this moment. When I open my heart, I am healed. When I open my heart, I am healed. When I open my heart, I am healed. 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 I am healed.
Thank you, Karen. I chose that song in part, and I chose this shirt in part because Unity's basics, Unity's foundation is on prayer and opening our hearts for healing, quite literally. Our co founders, Charles and Myrtle, both experienced uh, very significant physical healings as a result of changing how they prayed, changing from, as it was in the 1800s, a prayer of beseeching, of begging, of beating oneself down and being um, less than complimentary about who and what we were. So, as I was preparing for today and thinking about how do we get the year off to a good start, usually we do, or often we will do a white stone. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking two things. One, it's just not the same if you can't do it in person and have a stone in front of you. And with being on Zoom, I've tried to do it different ways, and it hasn't felt the same. Now, if you need to have a white stone ceremony, I've uploaded past services and you can find the link through our website and you could watch one and do that experience. And the other thing that's really been on my mind and heart, I shared with the rest of the community before we came online that I had a cousin come and visit me for a couple days, and she's from the States. And we talked about how she's feeling about what's happening as they're preparing to inaugurate a new president and some of the stressors. And I realized that, there was nothing that I can do I didn't share my prayer technique with her, to be quite honest. She has her own spiritual path and it's perfect for her. But I came to that awareness of, gee, perhaps our community could use a little refresher on some of the unity techniques that we have for getting through those challenging days, getting through those challenging days when, especially when it's something that's totally out of our physical control, that there isn't someone we can say, okay, don't do that, that we feel helpless or we might feel helpless. So we're going to do two things today. It's going to be a little more experiential than I've done in the past. So, just sit back and let's explore together. So, oops, let's go forwards. Let's not go backwards. So one of the first techniques I wanted to talk a little bit about was something that is often called denials in unity writings and talks. I have moved to a space where I call them release statements. And what that basically is a letting go. I've done some work, and I think I've given a series to this group as well, from Desmond Tutu's book on forgiveness. And one of the things he has you do is carry a stone in your non-dominant hand all morning one day to remind you of all of the things that you're carrying that maybe you don't need to be anymore. And that maybe it's time, and perhaps you might feel ready to release those things, let go of them. What did I just do? I just hit that button. There we go. So our co-founder writes, there must be a letting go of the old before the new can find a place in the consciousness. It's like stuffing grocery bags. If you're in a place where they don't bag your own groceries. I'm guilty of trying to stuff as much into the bag as I can, just so I don't have to carry so many bags. But if I think about it, it might be useful to not put everything into that bag. When I bring things home, I take them out, right? So too with our consciousness, there's only so much room to fit things in. And oftentimes, guilty, okay, I will say, instead of saying oftentimes, I am guilty of hanging on to stuff that really doesn't serve me. And I'm not quite sure why I do it. Sometimes maybe I have an attachment to the emotion that it pulls up, or maybe it just reminds me that I'm alive because I can feel that pain and shame and things. But is it helping me? Not really. Is it doing me any good? Probably not. Would it be useful to make space in my brain and my heart and my understanding to put in something new that's healthier and promotes my well-being? Of course it does. I like to think of release statements as being like this bunny, just doing a gentle cleaning, mental sweeping of old beliefs, societal expectations, ideas, and thoughts which no longer serve. Now, having been with my cousin, we must have spent 3 or 4 hours. She had just come from her dad's, where she had gone through family albums and taken photos with her phone of old pictures because there were some she and her dad didn't know who the people were, and they thought maybe I might know or my folks might know. And all of a sudden, I had a whole bunch of old memories come up because there was Christmas from now 50 years ago when I was a child, when I had more extended family around me telling me what to do and how to behave and how not to behave and all of those things. And I was quite surprised actually how many things popped up. And I had to gently look at them and say, okay, this was an extended family norm of behavior. Does it still serve me? There were quite a few that don't. So bye-bye. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for what you taught me. Thank you for how you protected me when I was a child. But I don't need you anymore. You can go. So gently. It's not about, trying to rip those. Anybody else had thistles in their backyard? Ever try to rip out thistles? I mean, first of all, you got to have the right gloves because they prick. But those are stubborn plants. And so too with our thoughts. They can get really deeply rooted. And we may not realize how deeply rooted until we decide, oh, I'm ready to let go. And suddenly you discover it takes some energy to do that. And I love Donald Duck. I love Disney. And one of the films that I saw as a kid was Disney in Math Magic Land. Google it or search for it on YouTube. It's there. But one of the things I love is that the narrator wants to teach Donald something new. And we go through Donald's eyes into his brain, and we get this image of antiquated ideas and false concepts and bungling and deadwood, and it's all dusty and filled with cobwebs. And so the narrator comes in with a broom and sweeps things up and tidies things up. And so too for us on a spiritual level. It's not just about our intellect and being able to perform tasks or to complete things. At a spiritual level, this is just as important as our mental health. So one of my early Unity teachers was Reverend Hypatia Hasbrook, who wrote a book called I just lost the thought of it. I'm trying to see it in my mind's eye. A Handbook of Positive Prayer. That was the title. And that was my first introduction to Unity's idea of positive prayer, or as we call it, affirmative prayer. So she calls it a denial because that's how we called it back in the 80s. This is powerless to take or keep my good from me. And what this statement does is reminds ourselves, each of us, that whatever is happening in the world is relative. It's in the human physical plane. We could choose to have it be affected in our lives, or we can say, no, I am looking to the greater. I am looking to that spiritual self. I am looking to that self of me that is eternal, universal, part of the oneness that can transcend human experience. Now, sometimes this is a hard thing to say. I graduated from university with a whopping student debt in a recession. I couldn't find work. I mean, McDonald's wasn't even hiring. And I remember I worked with this and I said, this is powerless to take or keep my good from me. There is a job somewhere for me where I am appreciated, paid fairly, and love what I do. And I don't know how many thousands of times I said those two sentences. But in the end, yes, it took some time. Found out later that I was replacing somebody who was retiring. So the universe had to wait until they had retired to create the space for me to come into the job. So this, if you have a moment, write this down. Just hold to that reminder of that you do have a spiritual self you can rely on, even on days when it feels impossible. And when it feels impossible, that's an opportunity to just sit and relax. And I will give you a set of tools for that in a moment. Holding thoughts of unhappiness, sin, sickness, and poverty is the cause of much of the inharmony in the world. Dora Dedrick Fillmore, Charles's second wife, but that's another story for another day. The question is, are you willing to let go? I discovered how much of the teachings of my extended family, well-meaning, don't get me wrong, but of a different generation, of a different time period, of a different experience. So I was willing to let them go because I realized they taught the lessons. They got me through that period of time. I don't need to carry them anymore. I'm not going to use them anymore. They don't need to be a part of me anymore. So how do we do this? We say our statement that this is powerless to keep or take my good away from me. And then we replace that. We having cleaned that out, we plant seeds of statements that make your head and heart say, yes, I can let this go yes, this is what I want to join, to bring into myself. So here are a couple sample statements. The restrictions of yesterday have no power to overshadow my life today. I release negative thoughts, worries, or fears. These kinds of statements help us to break open any crystallized thinking that we may have. And, it's very easy to run on crystallized thinking because it's familiar. It's what we've known. It's what has served us in the past. It's a new year. I'm ready for something new. So we fill the newly cleaned space with affirmations of truth. Notice it's a capital T. In Unity, we use these capitals to remind ourselves we're talking about the spiritual absolute, not the physical relative. The spiritual absolute is something that doesn't change. Its appearance might change, but the underlying principle does not. Centered in truth, my spiritual potential is unlimited. I embrace change with poise and flexibility. Now, I'm not going to be doing that pose. I can tell you, I am not in a physical condition to do a pose like that. But I am willing to imagine myself in something different, in something that I hadn't thought of before. I've shared this story many times. I left a job with the government, not knowing where I was going to go. And here, 7, almost 8 years later, I'm doing amazing things that weren't even on my radar. I hadn't even conceived of what I'm doing now. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know it was possible. I just knew that there was something there for me, that there was something that was calling me to use my skills, to use my gifts, to share my experience and knowledge in a different way. I love this statement from Eric Butterworth. This is from a Lenten series 5 years ago. One must go through the cleansing of autumn and winter for spring to have soil nutrients and space for new growth. So usually we would do something like this the last Sunday of December as part of a burning bowl where we release what no longer serves. But what I'm going to invite you to do is just get comfortable, and I'm going to play a song and just spend some time in your own thoughts, perhaps looking through, are there any mental file cabinets that are dusty and covered in cobwebs that need to be opened up, and just see if there's anything there that can be released, only if you're ready. It's not about going through, like some do, and like, you got to throw that out, you got to throw that out. No, it's a gentle cleaning as you're ready. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Melinda Wood Allen for one of her songs.
In this moment, I release, I let go, I find peace.
And I'm going to forgive myself for bumping my mouse and sending the slideshow crazy. So the second tool, and this is a very brief overview, um, but just perhaps for some of you, this is a review. For some of you, this might be new. So this is Unity's affirmative prayer method. It's a 5-step method. I add 2 steps. So some folks will say it's a 7-step method. Doesn't really matter. The main 5 sections are relaxation, concentration, intention, and attention, meditation, realization, thanksgiving. I add preparation and action to bookmark it. And of course, you can always reach Silent Unity, which is our prayer ministry that's been around for over 130 years, and have them pray with you. The first step that I use is preparation. So creating a space for prayer, creating a space where I won't be disturbed, minimizing distractions, turning my cell phone to vibrate, turning the TV or radio off, things like that. Taking care of my physical needs. Some folks will say, oh, once you are in prayer, you must not move, you must not, do anything. No, I always have a fluid somewhere near me in case I feel dry, because I found my experience after 40 plus years in Unity is that if I don't take care of my physical needs, I can't pray, because my body becomes like a toddler going, ma, 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 ma. And so I take that time. Maybe I have a little snack before I go into my prayer time. Take care of other bodily functions and just be aware, your 2 parts that make one, you're human and spiritual, and acknowledging and taking care of both. The first step is relaxation, taking the time to quiet myself. It's kind of a joke that at London we have, when I visit there, there's a prayer circle before we start. Well, I've just come off the highway. My body is still vibrating at 100 kilometers an hour. I need that quiet time to calm myself before I can even begin to pray. So I have to do a pre-prayer. So that's one of the things to do. It's not about, oh, I got to pray, sit down, do it, but rather to relax into that. And also to surrender to the greater good. So letting go of the outcome. One of the things I was taught was, instead of saying that it has to be a red Ferrari with all these bells and whistles, perfect transportation. What does that look like? Sometimes I don't know. When I look back since I left my job in 17 at what's happened, I couldn't have pre-planned any of it. I couldn't have said, some folks say you need to be specific, and yes, but leave some wiggle room for creativity. I couldn't plan what happened. I just knew that my prayer needed to be, here I am, use me, use my skills, all this training I've got, and find ways for it to bless the world. The second, concentration. Now, in this, I have used the word God. You will find many Unity folks use it, meaning not a man in the sky, but a principle, a concept, an eternality, a divinity. So we try to get away from the traditional God in the sky kind of view, but rather acknowledge God expressing as us through us. So if you need to change the word in your mind, go ahead. There's not a test on this. But the idea that we're concentrating on the inner, the concentration perhaps on our breathing, using a single word or an affirmation. One of my favorites is to breathe in the word peace and breathe out the word release. And that helps me to kind of get my brain kind of slowed down enough that I can get into that deeper consciousness. Meditation, moving into that divine space, moving into that where we are more aware of the inner than we are the outer. And this is a time to take an affirmation or your concerns into this time. Be still, wait, That's what the original um, motto of unity. This is the original logo of the unity movement. And at the bottom it says, "Be still and know that I am God." And that was one of the things the Fillmores, there wasn't a unity church. There wasn't new thought thinking available. They were the creators of these things. And so they used the language and the techniques that they had learned in traditional Christianity, but they just kind of massaged them into a way that there wasn't as much guilt, shame, and blame, and that there was an acknowledgement of God in us rather than out there. Realization. This is a time to be quiet. This is a time to listen for guidance. This is a time to just be still. Not easy. Or at least it's not easy for me. My brain wants to be in control. So I probably spend more time on the previous step, just getting myself into this space. Do I always get an answer? Not always. Do I open myself up for ideas later? I truly believe I do. I truly believe that oftentimes this step is just planting seeds, because I will often have dreams, or I will be washing dishes or something that doesn't require a lot of thinking, and all of a sudden an idea will pop into my head. Like, well, why can't we teach classes over Zoom? This is pre-COVID, I was thinking that. So I had actually started teaching classes over Zoom because I had this thought that said, well, why can't we? Well, because I don't know how to. Well, so find out how to and then go do it. I've now been teaching on Zoom for 7 years, and it's blessed me in ways I couldn't even begin to imagine. But to be quiet for that time and allow those thoughts and feelings to come into you. Step 5, Thanksgiving. Giving thanks for answers seen and as yet unseen. The as yet unseen ones can be really difficult. When I was newly graduated and we were being told constantly that we were in a recession, and I had student loans to pay off, and I had to pay my rent and all, and knowing that I would find a job was an as yet unseen. But I gave thanks that it was there. I just needed to be aware, to be alert, to be open, to be, in a space that it would find me because I was looking for it. Bless your personal prayer list, knowing that anyone who is on your list is also being blessed and receiving their good, knowing that the good of the world is not about a piece of pie. If I take my good out of the job market, that doesn't mean there's less for everyone else. It means that there is an abundance for everyone. It's finding our way to understanding how to participate in this spiritual expression. And with amen, so it is. Something that tells your intellect you're done. Something that tells your body, okay, we're going to eat, we're going to go for a walk, whatever we're going to do next. Or perhaps it's to recharge your brain. Okay, spiritual work is done. Okay, what's the rest of my day going to look like? Things like that. Something that draws it into a conclusion. And then I always add an action. What, if anything, needs to be done? Which is why I don't jump right up. I always just kind of take a check it. Do I need to add to a prayer list? Is there something I need to do? I was once in prayer, and no matter how hard I tried to bring myself back to that center, I kept seeing the face of a dear friend. When I finished my time of meditation, I got on the phone to her. I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No, I'm having a rough day, and I wasn't sure who I could reach out to." And I said, "Well, here I am. Let's talk. Do you want to meet for coffee, or do you just want to do it over the phone?" Because we're listening. knowing that if you're going to say, use me, then stuff's going to come your way. You open that door. And perhaps most importantly, and I don't think we talk about it often enough, has anything come up for you which might require the assistance of a spiritual or healthcare professional to process? I've been with people. I was actually facilitating a class on prayer once. And we had one of our participants, we were practicing this prayer together. We were experiencing it together. And all of a sudden she just started sobbing uncontrollably. And something had opened within her. And I asked her to, please consider reaching out, because I wasn't equipped to deal with whatever it was. I'm not a counselor. I can pray with you, but I can't counsel you. So she did, and it was really useful for her. So if you have that kind of experience, it doesn't mean that you did it wrong. It actually means that you've done some amazing work in that time. And we'll close with, this is what I know.
This is what I know, that we are all connected, the universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces, all of my relations in this one heart. All I need is already looking through these eyes, nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. This is what I know, we are all connected, the universe reflected in each shining part. Everywhere I go, I recognize the faces, all of my relations in this one heart. Closer than hands and feet, we are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. Now I let it go with such appreciation, with sheer exhilaration. Now I set it free, so it is, so be it. When I sing it, I can see it. I welcome us in, and now we begin. Amen. Amen. When I sing amen. This is what I know.
And so it is, and it is so. As always, Unity Prayer Chaplains are available. You can email praywithdiane@gmail.com, and your prayer request will be shared in confidence with the prayer team and then sent to Silent Unity for 30 days of 24/7 prayer. And now it's time for sharing of our financial gifts. Thank you for your continued support. We do so appreciate each and every one of you in whatever way you choose to share. You can see on the screen there are a number of ways, and now that the postal strike is over, checks can be sent again through. And you can go to our website, unityhaltonpeel.ca, for full details. As always, we continue to support Eden Food for Change and all of the good work they have been doing. We also support Unity Canada in its work. And let's bring it together. Divine love now flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are joining us on social media or on the Zoom call for the first time, please go to our website and you can sign up for our newsletter, which has full lists of events. You can go to our calendar and see what's happening. And lots is happening. It's a new year and things are moving. Our next 2 Sundays, we will have Debbie Long next week, and Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons will join us on the 19th. The 26th is still a TBA, but we will post that as soon as we know who's who. So with that, we have an announcement, and that is the new leadership team for 2025. And I will ask our board president, Patty Vigna, to bring us up to speed.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Wendy. You all received in your newsletter a copy of this announcement, but I'm going to read it verbatim in case you haven't had an opportunity to look at the whole thing. During the past year, we have opened most of our Sunday services with a centering prayer. The infinite mind of God fills my awareness with all the right ideas for all the people who come and will come to Unity Halton Peel. We gratefully follow the guidance. It is so, and so it is. In 2025, your leadership team will include 2 additional roles, working closely with your board of directors. Our licensed Unity teachers, and that would be Wendy Karr and Debbie Long, have been ruminating on ideas of how to support Unity Halton Peel in growth and expansion while helping us remain relevant to a wider community. They have identified 2 specific areas that can be immediately and effectively addressed. A proposal was made to the board, which we have accepted their offer of additional services effective January 1st, 2025. Wendy will take on expanding our social media visibility, adding to and expanding the good work Adrian is doing preparing for our Sunday PowerPoints, Bob is doing as a webmaster, and Michael is doing as the newsletter editor. Debbie will be reaching out to members and responding to inquiries, supplementing the work of Diane, our head prayer chaplain, and the prayer team. Debbie will also be researching places for us to participate in community outreach. Wendy and Debbie also complement each other in their knowledge, experience, and service in the Unity movement. In their respective roles with Unity Canada and Unity Worldwide Ministries, they are staying abreast of the changing times. They both bring ideas for how to co-create community in new and different ways. No one is taking on the role of spiritual leader. I'm going to say that again. No one is taking on the role of spiritual leader. The new energy from this proposal has, however, rejuvenated the spirit of your board of directors. We are very excited. Expanding our leadership team feels right as a next small step, while we strive to simultaneously offer support to our membership and connect to a larger community to attract new members. During the 6-month contract with Debbie and Wendy, the leadership team will remain in touch with each other to evaluate the impact on Unity Halton Peel. We will also have further discussion at the AGM in March. In the meantime, Evelyn, Jane, and I, as your board of directors, look forward to your comments, questions, observations, concerns, likes and dislikes. Please communicate your thoughts to email at info@unityhaltonpeel.ca or our phone 289-707-3306, and that could be a text or a comment. We appreciate your input as we embark on this new path together, and we'd be happy to discuss any immediate questions or thoughts that come up at the end of the service today. So stay online if you've got anything you'd like to say to us. Thank you very much, everyone, and blessings to all of you. And I am your board president, Patty Nina.
Thank you, Patty.
Wendy.
All right, I said that there were things happening. Unity Canada is facilitating the spiritual education and enrichment for CE classes. Information is at courses at unitycanada.org. We are welcoming of anyone who just wants to dip a toe in. You don't have to take this for credit. We're not going to make you become a minister or anything like that. So this week we are starting with Discerning Your Purpose, which is facilitated by Pauline Duncan Thrasher, who is spiritual leader over at London. The following week, I will start Interpretation of Hebrew Scriptures. Dr. Ann Thoreau, LUT, will start Self-Care. Reverend Rosemary Hyde will start 12 Powers. I will then also start Unity Prayer. If you're curious about doing something beyond what we just discussed in today's gathering, this is your opportunity to come and learn. And my colleague and good friend Debbie Long will be starting Self-Awareness on the 20th of January. So we have all of those events coming up. If you are choosing to take it not for credit, there is no charge. You can choose, if you wish, to make a free will offering for your facilitator, but there is no formal fee or for registration. And more details can be gotten at courses at unitycanada.org. With the holiday season now sort of winding down, I will be co-facilitating a spirit group on Thursdays from 1 to 2:45 Eastern. We call our group What's So Good About the Good Book, and this is our opportunity to discuss what does Unity believe about the Bible? How does Unity interpret certain stories or characters? Opportunities to expand our understanding of the historical and cultural importance of the Bible. And perhaps the most important question, what does the Bible mean to me? I believe it's an 8-week series. We will be meeting over the course of the year. We tend to take a little break of a couple weeks, particularly as Easter and the summer holidays show up. But everyone welcome. It's presented on a love offering basis. And I'm looking forward to renewing our group. Space is limited to 12 so that we have conversation. I believe right now we have 5, so we still have lots of room for anyone who's interested. Again, go to unitycanada.org and you will find a link for spirit groups. An invitation from Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa to join them for their Friday night spiritual connections, which is really an open group opportunity. So if you have free time on a Friday and you'd like to get to know some folks across Canada who are in the Unity movement or who are spiritual seeking, please join them. Other announcement from Unity Canada that this year's annual conference, which is being championed and coordinated by our own Debbie Long. Thank you, Debbie. Can't wait to see what you come up with. If nothing else, I know the music is going to be fantastic. So this will be an in-person experience in Calgary. And there is a early bird registration. I don't think that's what we called it, but a lower price for registration on right now till February 14th. So again, check for full details. All right, I believe those are all the announcements. Have I missed anything, Madam President?
No, you're good, Wendy. Thank you very much. A beautiful, beautiful lesson this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let us bless and appreciate the children of our lives and of the world. And we say together, unity, children and youth of unity and of the world. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And we know that for our inner child as well, that we are perfect just the way we are, regardless of how the human experience feels or looks to others. And our closing prayer, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And as always is our custom, Sue Riley's going to sing us out.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one sun. I choose love. Yes, I do. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose
For those of you on the Zoom call, please stay on the line and we will have some conversation and community afterwards. For everyone else watching in the future, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our community. We look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful 2025.